What's up, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Francisco, and today we're going to be reviewing the Feelworld PM1 USB and XLR dynamic microphone. Feelworld was kind enough to send me this microphone for free for the purposes of this review, so let's check it out. Let's see how it sounds, how well is it built, and how does it compare to some other microphones in my arsenal. Let's get started. So the Feelworld PM1 is an all-metal build microphone, all right? It's a relatively small microphone. It's not too big. It's not too hefty. There's not a whole lot of weight going on here. Very sturdily built. We've got a metal microphone, full-on metal grill, and we have a metal yoke mount for the microphone as well, so you can mount it to any boom arm or desktop stand of your choice. Along with that, we have a foam windscreen that's included with the mic. We've got a knob at the top of the mic right here. Now, this knob controls a couple of different things. You have a capacitive touch button right above it. You can toggle between using the knob to control the volume output of your headsets that would be connected to the back of the mic, or toggling to the gain control for the microphone itself. And of course, on the back of the mic, we have the XLR output, the USB output, and the 3.5mm headset output as well. As far as build is concerned, I don't see anything too concerning quality-wise. I don't think that this is a microphone that's going to break on you anytime soon. As long as you take care of your stuff, you'll be all right. The little knobs to adjust the tightness right here for the yoke mount feel very sturdy and are very easy to turn and get them tightened or loosened to your liking. Other than that, I do notice that the inside of the mount here has the ability to mount and screw onto any threading size without having to use an adapter, which is a new change that I've seen recently with microphones that I really appreciate, because those little adapters, they get lost very easily in my space over here. So the fact that now it's just built in to take either one is a really, really cool little addition to the build quality of the microphone. But overall, as far as build is concerned, this is a very well built microphone. I don't have any complaints with that at all. So let's see how it sounds. So this is the Feelworld PM1 running through my Rodecaster Duo using the SM7B presets that I've customized and saved to the Rodecaster Duo. So anytime I use my SM7B with the Rodecaster Duo, these are the exact same settings. So the exact same EQ that I've customized, noise gate, compression, de-essing, etc. All that is right now running through the Feelworld PM1, and that is what this sounds like. But don't worry, I am going to go ahead and turn everything off here in just a second so you can hear what this microphone sounds like naturally on its own. All right, and so this is the Feelworld PM1 running through the Rodecaster Duo. I've gone ahead and turned off all the processing. This is what the microphone sounds like on its own. No processing whatsoever. In the previous clip, I was running the same processing that I use for when I use my SM7B with the Rodecaster Duo. Let's take a moment here and kind of think about this, right? So you just heard it with processing turned on, and now you're listening to it with processing turned off. Let me know in the comments below, which one do you like more? Does it sound better with the processing off, or does it sound better with the processing on? Now, since we've been running this microphone via XLR this whole time right now, let's switch over to USB and see how it sounds that way. This is the Feelworld PM1 running through my computer as a USB microphone using the USB cable that is provided as a USB-C cable that plugs into the back of the microphone into a USB-A end that plugs into any USB port at the front or at the back of your computer. This is the microphone running via USB, no processing on whatsoever. This is what it naturally sounds like. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think? Now, one of the interesting things about running this microphone as a USB microphone is that you have this capacitive touch button at the very top of the microphone, right above the knob. So if you do a short touch on this button here, you're going to go ahead and mute your microphone. And if I do that correctly, it again, and all of a sudden I'm back. If this works as intended, you should not have heard any sort of audible click when I mute the microphone itself. In the past, microphones used to have a button that you could press to mute them. Usually the knob itself, when you press it in, it would mute your mic, and then if you watched the waveform of your audio, you would see and hear the clicking of that microphone right before the audio got cut off. And then you also kind of hear it as it's coming back on. But because this is capacitive touch, you should not hear that whatsoever. Okay, so I want to go ahead and test out the PM1's ability to drive a high-end headset. And so today we're going to be testing it with the Beyerdynamic DT770 Pro, the 80 ohm edition. We're going to play a little bit of Elden Ring real quick here and just kind of get an idea of like, how is it driving a good headset like this? And just like that. So overall, as far as using a headset with this microphone. I don't think you're going to have too bad of an experience. I didn't think it was going to be able to power the 80 ohm version. The 80 ohm version is not like a super power hungry headset at all of the DT770 Pros by Beyerdynamic, but I've used some other things in the past connecting that headset where they weren't powerful enough to really drive that headset. And that's a wonderful headset, by the way. If you don't have one and you're thinking about buying yourself a phenomenal gaming headset or a headset for gaming, that's an excellent recommendation, by the way. But anyways, so as far as performance is concerned, a little bit of Elden Ring that we played here and played some on the side too. I'm hearing everything that I need to hear from a game like Elden Ring. So I'm not really too concerned about its ability to perform. I do anticipate that you'd be able to hear footsteps and directional cues if you're playing games like Warzone or what have you. I don't have any complaints really to make about its audio performance in driving a headset. All that out of the way, let's go ahead and compare it to some of the microphones that I have here so you can have a better understanding as to how much this microphone costs, what you're getting in terms of quality versus other microphones in similar price range, and of course in the complete polar opposite end of the spectrum. All right, so this is the Feelworld PM1 via XLR with processing turned off running through the Rodecaster Duo. And this is the Feelworld PM1 with processing turned on running through the Rodecaster Duo. This is the MXL 990 running through the Rodecaster Duo with processing turned on. And this is the MXL 990 running through the Rodecaster Duo with processing turned off. This is the Rode NT1 5th generation running through the Rodecaster Duo with processing turned on. And this is the Rode NT1 5th generation running through the Rodecaster Duo with processing turned off. This is the Shure SM7B running through the Rodecaster Duo with processing turned on. And this is the SM7B running through the Rodecaster Duo with processing turned off. This is the Electrovoice RE20 running through the Rodecaster Duo with processing turned on. And this is the Electrovoice RE20 running through the Rodecaster Duo with processing turned off. This microphone is going to cost you $60 right now off of their website, off of Amazon. It's $59.99. And look, for $60, I think you're getting a pretty solid microphone. Is it perfect? No, far from it. But at $60, you got to take a couple of things into consideration. Number one, you've got an XLR and a USB dynamic microphone, okay? So at $60, this is probably the right microphone for somebody who's maybe just now getting started with content creation and they don't have the money, or maybe just don't want to spend all the money and going into the XLR path of things here. Because if you go XLR, you got to buy the XLR mic, you got to buy XLR cables, and you have to buy an audio interface to be able to convert the XLR signal to a USB signal that your computer can then use to output to things like OBS that your audience can hear what you have to say. $59.99 also gets you the ability to control both the volumes coming out of the microphone for your headset and the gain directly from the knob on the microphone, which I think is very convenient. And this one microphone actually manages to do somewhat of a more subtle job with the knob as compared to other mics. I think one of the things that puts me off to these types of microphones in the past is that the knob itself is kind of bulky and it sticks out and it just looks a little weird. I know we shouldn't be buying microphones for their aesthetic value alone, but the fact of the matter is that there's a really good chance you're going to be on camera and you want your camera and everything in your shot to look good. And so if I've got a microphone with a huge knob sticking out, I think it detracts from all that, the whole aesthetic, right? The whole vibe. So I'm glad to see that Feelworld went with a somewhat more subtle option as far as the knob's concerned compared to other microphones in its class. The capacitive touch mute is fantastic. I think it works fine. The only issue that I noticed is that when we activated the mute here, we definitely heard the impact of my finger on the button itself. I don't think that has anything to do with the button itself, but has more to do with the fact that this microphone is probably incredibly sensitive to impact and to shock. So when you have it mounted on your boom arm of choice, you want to be careful and make sure that you don't hit anything around it, because I'm pretty sure this microphone will pick that up. As far as sound is concerned, I think that I liked how the microphone sounded both with processing on and with processing turned off. Processing on is kind of a cheat mode because you can do a lot to a microphone to really get it to sound way better than it does on its own. One thing I did notice with this microphone that would probably cause it to lose a couple of points is its ability to handle plosives. If this microphone here was aimed directly at my mouth as I'm speaking to it, and I start hitting out some P's and B's, those plosives are going to be very, very much present in your audio. And, a simple solution for that is that instead of speaking directly into your microphone, you kind of want to speak with the microphone aimed at your mouth at the corner off to an angle like this. That's going to help reduce some of the plosives. The other issue that I have with the mic is the windscreen. Now the windscreen on the sides is nice and thick, but if you hold it up to a light, you can see a whole lot of light coming through the very top, which is the portion of the windscreen that your voice is going through. Now, I understand, of course, it probably can't be as thick as it is around, but if it were just a little bit thicker at the top, I think it would do a better job of rejecting plosives. As far as the build is concerned, I'm very happy with the build. I think for $60, we're getting $100 worth of build quality here. And overall, if I was just starting off and I got my hands on this microphone, I think I'd be starting off on the right foot with getting some good mic quality into my content early into my content creation journey. The nice thing here with that though is that you start off as USB, and then eventually, once you know that you're committed to making content and you're willing to invest some more money into some new gear and equipment, you can go ahead and get yourself an audio interface, and you've already got yourself an XLR microphone at $59.99. I don't see this microphone being a bad buy for anybody. If you've already got a microphone that's above this price point that does all of this and more, I don't obviously think there's any reason to go back down to it. But for somebody just starting off with a limited budget, this is a fantastic buy. I mean, it solves a lot of little problems, right? You have USB connectivity for easy plug and play use. You've got an upgrade path for XLR. You have an output here for your headset, so you can connect your headset directly to the mic and use that to listen to things like your programs, your music, your games, anything going on, YouTube videos. You can hear all that here while using other software to control the volume, such as Wavelink or the Beacon app, or even in some cases Rode Unify. Again, I don't think that at $60, I don't think this is a bad buy. Honestly, I really feel like they probably could have gotten away with charging a little bit more money for this, but as an entry-level dynamic microphone, the Feelworld PM1 is definitely one I would recommend to somebody who's got only $60 to spend on their first microphone. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed the review and that you found it helpful. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think? Do you have the mic? Are you enjoying it? Do you not like it? What do you like about it? What don't you like about it? Would you buy this microphone as your first mic if all you had was $60 to your name? Until next time, be good to yourselves, be good to one another. Peace out.